It's Melbourne. The year is 1922. You're Cyril Callister. You're one of several children. After graduating on scholarship from the University of Melbourne, you enlisted in the Imperial Forces where you made bombs in Great Britain during World War I. When it ended, you married a beautiful Scottish woman by the name of Catherine Hope Mundell. Your boss at the factory, Fred Walker, has given you the task of developing a spread from the yeast being dumped by nearby breweries. What's that, you ask him? Excuse me? Turn the nasty discarded yeast into what now? That's right, says Walker. It's basically garbage. Let's sell it to morons. Old Walker's lost his mind, but you've got a baby on the way. First of 3 that you'll have, so you've got to pay the bills. So you go to the breweries, gather the sludge, break it down, throw in some salt, onion, and celery extracts, and call it a day. It looks like a hot turd, but maybe, just maybe, Walker will go for it. He better. Your career's riding on it. Let's call it Vegemite. You try, Dad. You tried, Dad. Vegemite. And other snacks. I'm Nick Novak with your pals, Chad Hancock.
Good day, mate.
Nick Geiger.
Oi!
This really...
It's Australian, right?
We should make this an Australian episode because we've got so many of them, and none of these other snacks are from Australia.
Novak, did you say that person's name was Serial Killister and he made bombs?
Callister.
Oh, Callister.
It's also Cyril, right? Not Cyril.
Cyril Callister.
I was like, oh, really living up to his names.
I didn't really look up anything. I just making up names like Serial Killmaster.
Did you say his name was Howie Killam?
His name is Vegemite Bomb Man. He made bombs in Vegemite.
But it is, as I found out, made out of discarded yeast.
Right.
And so we will find out what that's like a bit later. But we're back in the news today. There's a lot of news flying around, and Chad's mined for the most important story in all of the news. He's helping you sift through all the stuff that's flying at you daily.
Yeah, there's a lot of news flying around, and there's also a lot of nudes flying around.
Ooh.
So today's news story is, this is from people.com. Here's the headline. It's fairly recent. Kraft takes down, quote, send nudes campaign following social media backlash. And of course, nudes there spelled Noods.
Oh, that poor intern.
So it says the campaign was met with criticism from some Instagram users who said the company, quote, sexualized mac and cheese.
The real question is, did you send nudes, Chad?
No, why would I send nudes? I'm gonna eat those nudes.
Is the intern who is in charge of it Boobs Flashmaster?
So here's the story. Kraft has removed social media posts after receiving some backlash for their most recent online campaign. Earlier this month, the food conglomerate revealed a new #SendNudes promotional campaign, which called on fans of their classic mac and cheese to send a free box to loved ones amid the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. But shortly after it was announced, the campaign was met with intense criticism from some users who said the company sexualized mac and cheese. So now they've removed the ad altogether and said they, quote, appreciate the feedback that they have received. And so it says the campaign began with a video featuring former SNL cast member Vanessa Bayer saying, in these strange times, people are in need of extra comfort. That's why it's always a nice gesture to send nudes so they know you're thinking of them, the comedian said.
This is actually pretty great. I give them a little credit.
In another later post, per the outlet, Kraft posted an image of a blurred bowl of mac and cheese with messaging about sending nudes plastered behind it. So many people voiced their disapproval for the ad, some even calling for a boycott of the brand, quote, this is not okay. Don't you realize that a huge portion of the people who actually eat your mac and cheese are children? Please delete this. Unacceptable. So then they ended up deleting it, and they said, For National Noodle Day last Tuesday, we encouraged adults to send free noodles to loved ones to provide comfort and make them smile. And it says the promotion resulted in over 20,000 consumers receiving boxes of America's favorite Kraft mac and cheese. We sincerely appreciate and hear all your feedback. The content will be removed from our channels. So, did they do the right thing? What do you guys think about this campaign?
I think they did the right thing by having the campaign, and then that did the right thing by taking it down, because we still got to enjoy it. But I guess in the end, the right thing was done.
I think it's not cool that they had to take theirs down, but Oscar Mayer's campaign of, hey, take a picture of your wiener was totally fine. And no one said a word about that. And I don't know why I made the word picture into 3 syllables. A picture. A picture of your wiener.
Yeah, Oscar Mayer they have a huge truck that's just like completely obscene, drives all over the country.
Yeah.
Oscar Mayer, stop selling your product. It looks like it's too phallic shaped.
Do they know you've been sexualizing mac and cheese for like 20 years now, Chad? Like,
yeah, right.
Super hard every time you eat it.
Kraft, back off. I invented sexualizing mac and cheese, all right? This is my lane. Stay out of it.
Okay, this is an honest question. Are you probably at this point in your life more likely to look up or see pictures of hot creamy mac and cheese, or see nude pictures of someone? To seek out?
Can I have both? Can I have someone pouring mac and cheese all over their bosom? Is that
I guess that's what does it for you. There's probably that kind of porn out there, I'm guessing.
and me, I'm extra hardcore, so I like it before it's actually pre-cooked. I just want them to take that packet of powder and just pour it all over themselves and like rubbing it on their body.
I like them to hold their breasts up and then pour the water in between in the cleavage and then mix up the powder in there to make the cheese. And then stuff the noodles in, and then like they drop them out and it falls into a bowl as a perfectly cooked mac and cheese.
Who is this person?
I don't know. Some gross weirdo that I paid a lot of money to satisfy my fetish. Leave me alone.
Now, Novak, you and I, back in our like high school, college days or whatever, we would eat a ton of spaghetti, right? Like we would meet up.
That's putting it lightly.
Yeah, we'd meet up for Monday Night Raw at your house. We would cook an entire box of spaghetti and eat it. And we used to always be like, let's have a plate of nudes, but I don't remember it actually ever crossing my mind, the double entendre there. Like I was always just like, nudes mean noodles. Like, why would it mean?
Well, you described the things we were doing, so that might give a clue as to why.
Right.
You mean there was no nudes from women involved when you were eating an entire box of noodles while watching Monday Night Raw?
That's right. Yeah.
It is an interesting, fun story. I think I do think it's funny, and I don't. And even having children, I get that it's a kid's product and it probably shouldn't. It seems like an ad that should have been for like alcohol or something like that.
Right.
But it still is funny, and I don't think it's that over the line.
Well, here's the thing too. My kids don't even know what commercials are anymore. They don't watch live TV unless it's a sports game. Like, and that is uncomfortable because then I'm having to explain to Jake, like, we're watching a Packer game and he's like, "Dad, what's a condom?" I'm like, Or like, what's Cialis or something? I'm like, you pop a Cialis and then you just send some nudes to your friend. I meant mac and cheese. But like, they don't even see, like, when would they see an ad for mac and cheese anymore? Like on the internet? I don't know where was the ad?
These were on Instagram, okay. on their Instagram posts or whatever.
Why are your kids on Instagram? That's a place where only adults and Chad's dog are allowed to be on.
Yeah.
Now, Geiger, you had once told me a very funny story about. This is not connected to mac and cheese or anything, so I have no way to get into it. But last week after our episode, I thought about it and I said, "We got to hear it." I only remember sparse details, but give me the rundown. It was it was a college class, was it, or a high school class, or what was it?
It's a high school class. It was my freshman year of high school, and we had to. they were still. I don't know if you ever had to do this in high school, where you had to do like a skit about something. So you'd have to get up in front of class and reenact something or whatever, like about the class. So this was a
Yeah.
social studies class, and we were talking. I don't know what we were learning about, but like the subject was like the Mexican cartels or something. And so
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty heavy stuff. And so I don't remember the full script of our skit, but it was something along the lines of like two of us were criminals and one of us was like a government official, and the two criminals like were trying to yeah, I was on. I think I was the government official. I was like on the take or something. So I like gave them money, and they like brought these drugs into the U.S. or something like that.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was pretty deep. It was basically like if you ever saw Traffic, it was like that. They stole our script.
I was gonna say, I was like, you're just basically reenacting Sicario here, is what it sounds like. To me.
Everyone learned a lot about history that day.
Well, I remember the one feedback we got from the teacher. Well, there was two feedbacks, but one will spoil the story. But the second one was, I think I ended with like, someone's like, "Here's the check," and I took the check and was like, "When you're making an illegal drug deal, you don't usually pay by check." Thanks, Mr. Tauscher. Maybe give us a better assignment.
Everyone knows you get a Western Union money order when you're bribing a government official.
Here's a Visa gift card. So there's this one guy in our group named Steve Hauser, who was like, I don't care if he hears this. Steve, you were kind of dumb. And so...
I promise he's not listening.
Right, exactly. So I remember I had to like wear a suit because I was supposed to be the government guy, and Hauser and the other guy in our group were going to be the criminals. And so they were like, "Oh, we need to bring guns." Like they wanted to bring in guns so they could like pretend to be, violent criminals or whatever.
Cool.
So Hauser's like, "Don't worry, I got the guns. I got a bunch of like toy guns at home. I'll bring in." Like, okay, cool, but I don't know why we care, but like, make sure they're like, they make sense for the thing. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll bring in like two like realistic guns." So we had social studies like in the afternoon. In the morning we all had biology, and so we were all in the class. And so we meet up. I'm like, "Hauser, did you bring the guns?" And he's got this like big backpack on. I'm like, yeah, I got the guns. I'm like, "Okay, let's go." And the first one he pulls out is like this like little like cap gun that looks like a pistol. Just looks like a regular pistol. It's black, brown handle. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay, great." And like the other guy's like, "I'm gonna use that one." Like Hauser's like, "Okay, I'm gonna use this one." And he pulls out this like giant like Nerf Super Soaker thing that was like 2 feet long. It looked like a space ray gun. I'm like, "The fuck is this?" And he's like, "Oh, I couldn't find all the other guns." I'm like, "This is not what the cartel would use. That's like what the cartel on Mars would use." It was like this. And so I'm like, "Hauser?" We're all like, "What the fuck, Hauser?" So like we get in the class, and so I think there was like some sort of double cross at the end where one of the guys shot Hauser. It was very elaborate. But Hauser, they whip out these guns, and I'm trying so hard not to laugh because Hauser's literally got this like fucking bazooka, and he's like waving it around. And the other guy goes to shoot Hauser, and he was, I don't know, committed to the craft or something. He just fell straight backward, didn't brace his fall, and cracked his head into a bookcase. He's laying there like holding his head, and there's and this gun is like it had like noises. So he's like falls backward, and the gun clatters on the ground. And you just hear like like making this like weird like zapping noise, and he's going, "Arr!" And then we're like, "And scene." I was like, it was. I think we got an okay grade, but Hauser, you fucked up.
Wait, so what was the other piece of feedback then that they gave to Hauser?
No, that was the two pieces of feedback. One was that they wouldn't pay by check, and the other one was like, "I'm not sure." I think the exact words were, "I'm not sure that's a period-specific weapon you've got there," or something like that. Like, "Oh yeah, what period was this from? 3049?" Like. I just could not. We specifically said bring in realistic things, and I could tell he like reaches in the bag and just pulls out this giant nuclear zap gun.
That just really shows how old we are, because that would absolutely get you expelled immediately from school today. Like, bringing in anything that looked remotely realistic.
Hauser wouldn't have made it through the door with his backpack of guns.
Right. Yeah. Make them as realistic as possible. Idiot.
I like how he cracked his skull on the bookshelf.
Yeah, he just flatbacks onto the ground. Like, what are you doing?
Wait, so the kid cracks his head open in the middle of class, and all the teacher can be is like, yeah, that's not a very period-specific gun. The kid's bleeding out.
Doesn't give a shit about the concussion he just got.
That's not very period-specific blood. No, like, I think he just got up and he was like, oh, and he like was just holding his head. He was fine. I don't know. Like I said, he was dumb, so it's kind of hard to tell if he was hurt.
Teacher, should we do something? It's fucking Hauser. Did no one give a shit?
That rotten piece of shit just sold you drugs. Let him die.
So then,
Wow.
did Hauser go on to actually sell real drugs at some point?
He was, I mean, let's just say he was on that track. I don't know if he wound up there. Hauser and I lost touch of the old space gun incident. But
It was a real rift in your friendship.
it was a space-time rift when he shot a hole into the fabric of the continuum and stepped into it. But no, yeah, I don't know where Hauser wound up. I never really stopped to check. He was kind of a shithead.
There's a bigger rift in your friendship than between the two sides of his skull.
And he was never quite the same when his brain leaked out onto the floor and then he accepted a C+.
Well, Geiger, I've got news for you. Hauser's been watching from backstage. Come
Oh
on
God,
out, Hauser!
Hauser just creeps up behind me on the Skype cam with his giant like grenade launcher, just pulls into my face.
Just dunk.
All right, let's eat some snacks. We have 3 snacks we're going to eat today and rate them on a 5-point scale. I love dat, like dat, indifferent to dat, dislike dat, and hate dat. Let's start with the Snappers. This is called the Snappers Milk Chocolate Minis. So these look like basically pretzels covered with, the bottom of the pretzel is completely covered milk chocolate, and the top is more of a drizzled fashion.
There's also caramel in here.
They have the nice family story on the back that we haven't had in a while. May seem simple, but you've just discovered a carefully crafted sweet snack. Our unique pretzels, secret batch caramel, and sustainably sourced cocoa are all crafted to complement each other perfectly. We hope you can taste the generations of family tradition that go into every bite.
There's nothing that looks like family packaging about this. It just looks super big corporation.
Yeah.
The size of these pieces are so varied. I found some really little ones and then some gigantic pieces.
No, Mac, didn't you say Snappers was also the name of your nudes club? Because it just snap pictures of each other nude and mail it to each other.
Uh-huh.
No, we take pictures of pasta.
Take a picture of a blurred out pretzel. Send it to someone.
I gotta be honest, these don't seem hard to make. just like they're not like you said, Novak, they're like just haphazardly clumped together.
All right. I mean, there's nothing about these ingredients that should be bad, but I'm really curious what you guys have to say, Geiger.
I think my problem is, even though there's drizzled with chocolate, I taste much more of the pretzel and the caramel. Like the chocolate either isn't that good or it just isn't coming through for some reason. That said, this is not like it's hard to trash this. It's not horrible. It's like a perfectly acceptable sweet snack. It's an indifferent. They're not bad. They're just they're not memorable at all. And I wish the chocolate was more like either more prominent or it was better chocolate.
All right, an indifference, Chad. You agree with him?
Yeah, I think I do. I'm very disappointed in these. When I picked these up, I actually picked these up with very high hopes for them. Like, oh, this could be a pretty highly rated snack, you know? I like pretzels, I like caramel, I like chocolate. That's a good combination, right? You see it in things like a Take 5 bar, stuff like that, right? But the ingredients here are bad. Like, if you isolate the chocolate, which, as Geiger said, it's very hard to even taste the chocolate. It gets so overwhelmed by the other 2 flavors. The caramel is not good caramel. And actually, that's the one that's most overwhelming flavor to me. And the pretzels are just kind of like, whatever. Like, I don't think they're salty enough. So somehow they've taken this thing that, like, should have been good, and they just, like, did a very mediocre job. I think I'm going to go indifferent to that. It's, I mean, it's not terrible, but it is very disappointing.
Okay, 2 indifference, and I'm going to thank you guys. You know why?
So we need to be said.
It's the guy riding back quickly. Just say what we need to say.
Yes, I would need to be said.
Thanks for saying what needed to be said.
I'm gonna say I didn't do anything to my body. That must be what it is.
For what
Saying what needed to
Hauser
be
did
said.
to his body. They should be good. They look good on the package.
They should have been good.
Everything, all the ingredients are in place. I think Geiger actually nailed it when he says, I can't taste the chocolate. I actually think if you like dipped these again in an entire bat of chocolate and it was just completely covered in chocolate, it would help. I don't know. The caramel's not that great either. I don't think it's
bad.
It's not terrible. I ate a few of them, but I didn't want to eat any more after that. So we're going to have a lazy electionaire from Snappers. A little bit of a disappointment.
Yeah.
I don't know I can't imagine. We like all these things, so sometimes we say, "Oh, if you like coconut, we could see liking this." But I don't know who I'd recommend this to. So, all right. Next, we're gonna go with the show. How do we say this? Schoko Milch Riegel.
Rolls off the tongue.
I mean, okay. Now this is a German thing, right? So probably means chocolate milk. Riegel.
Riegel.
Riegel 4. That's where Hauser's character was from.
This means Hauser, please return.
It's from another planet.
Hauser, I'm going to contact you through this obscure candy. If you get this transmission, please kill the government official and split open your head and remove the transponder.
Bleep blorp, I will pay you by check. Bleep blorp.
Meat more, not period specific enough.
Now, so this is like about the size of a half a Kit Kat, right?
Right.
Yeah, I would say 1 Kit Kat stick.
Coated in chocolate. What's inside?
Oh.
But I don't think there's a wafer inside, right? Or
just like white stuff inside. No, there's nothing in there. It's like milk chocolate, I'm guessing, or like white chocolate.
Yeah, it's just white, but it's not really creamy. It's pretty much the same consistency as the chocolate is. So maybe it is white chocolate, but it doesn't taste that white chocolatey to me.
The chocolate isn't bad.
This reminds me a lot. Correct me if I'm wrong. We did kind of a similar bar. It wasn't the same shape and size, but it on the that kosher snacks.
The Click. It was called the Click.
But yeah, this is kind of the same idea, right?
It's
Yeah,
similar.
that one?
Yep, I
Yeah.
agree.
It is kind of smooth and creamy. It's not like that. Like the chocolate consistency is pretty good.
Yeah, it actually is good chocolate. Germans know how to do it.
I do think it's white chocolate because it's just generically sweet a little bit. It seems to be canceling out like an actual cocoa flavor, but I could be wrong.
Could be. Chad, what do you think?
It's good. It's good. It's a big step up from the Snappers thing that we just tried. I think I might like it more than that Click bar, although I don't remember because that was like, I don't know, a month ago, and in this year that we're in, every month takes 10 months. So I'm gonna say I think it's good though. It needs a little something extra. I don't know what. But the inside is just sort of generically sweet. Maybe if there was like little Rice Crisps or something in there to give it just some kind of texture, that could really like push it up to the next level. But I am gonna give it a like that. I think it's pretty good.
Okay, we're gonna stick with agreement here. I also think it's good. The chocolate is nice and creamy. I think it's worse than the Click bar because I actually did give that a love dat.
Yeah.
And I thought that inside was creamier than this. It was milkier tasting. This the fact that we can't tell that if it's white chocolate or not isn't a good sign. I'd like that inside
True.
to be of a slightly different texture. I think that would go a long way. Because if I ate this with my eyes closed and you told me it was just a solid like dairy milk style chocolate bar, I would say okay. So I am going to give it a like that dough.
Okay.
Brilliant take you had there. And I'd say, all right.
You're eating solid dairy milk. Okay.
I mean, look, some fucking creeps just tied me up and feeding me food. I'm not really into giving them a lot of conversation.
I wish the middle was creamier. I can help with that.
What do you think of this? Take a bite. Okay. So I pretty much said okay to everything they fed me.
Yeah.
I was kidnapped and tied up, fed food. So it really wasn't that bad. They're just feeding me chocolate.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's as imprisonments go, that couldn't have gone worse.
It eats the German chocolate bar, or it gets the hose again. What do you think, Edgar?
Wait, did you give your rating? No, I didn't know if you did yours.
Like
Know
that.
that? Did you rate it? All right.
Chad said
Okay,
what needed
like
to be
that.
said, so I just
Okay.
agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do appreciate you guys for taking care of what needed to be said. It makes my job a lot easier now that what's needed to be said has already been done.
That's what we do.
All right, let's move on then. Segment.
All right. No, I mean, I will say you guys have mostly said what needed to be said. It's pretty.
Would you?
Yeah, that's what I would say. Like,
Wait, what kind of
I'd say
accent
more,
are
but
you
what's-
using? I can't understand. I can barely understand that
Oh.
accent.
Hey, I would say something more, but there seems to be a lesser need for it. Since you said what needed to be said.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Is that
That
Rick
was the-
James now? Is that-
That was the guy who tied me up. It was that guy.
Okay. I appreciate that kidnapper for doing what he did to your body. No, it's pretty good. I mean, it like I said, I think I agree. I don't love white chocolate, but so I wish it was either less white or I agree Novak if it had been like
Less white.
less. Sorry, less.
I want it to be more of a taupe.
I wish this chocolate was more. I wish it was tan chocolate. No, I wish it was like either fully just like full milk chocolate bar or that middle was like a cream or like a marshmallow center. But regardless, it tasted good. It was a little that white chocolate threw it off a little bit because it just made it sweeter than a normal milk chocolate. But I will give it a solid like that. It was well made and tasty.
Okay.
That's what needed to be said.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
It's time for. I was hoping we could just drag out the first part of the episode because it's time to eat the Vegemite. And
Oh, guys, did I tell you about that other Hauser story I had? It takes about 45 minutes. Is that cool?
we asked for this specifically. We said we were interested in trying Vegemite in one of the Australian
Right.
episodes. It's on recorded. It's on tape there, so we can't deny that we wanted to eat this. But it showed up. And Chad, why don't you give the story of getting this Vegemite?
Yeah. So my buddy Adam in Australia. First of all, congratulations to Adam, who, as of this recording, like 3 days ago, had his second child. So
Yes,
mad
congratulations.
Hey, congrats, man. That's
Yeah, well
awesome.
done. Healthy baby boy. So yeah, he heard that we wanted some Vegemite, so he packaged up 3 jars of Vegemite, sent it to us, and put exactly 0 padding in the box. That's not entirely true. He padded it with 2 packages of Tim Tams and a box of chocolate covered Oreos. And well, one of the jars of Vegemite, one of the glass jars of Vegemite, shattered on the trip over, and glass was everywhere. It had ripped through the Tim Tam packages, the Oreos, and and there was Vegemite everywhere. Now, I wanted to just wash off the Tim Tams and eat them because I wanted to eat them so bad, but we ended up having to chuck them, unfortunately. But 2 of the Vegemite bottles survived, so I was able to send one out to you guys, and here we are now, stuck eating Vegemite.
Yay.
And Geiger came to my place earlier in the week, and I opened the jar, spooned out about half of it. He thinks that I spooned out less than half for him. So one thing we have noticed is that it smells awful.
So bad.
Just awful. And we've all prepared toast. I don't know how we all picked toast, but we did.
It says Adam told you if he likes the stuff.
Yeah,
You know.
he does. He likes Vegemite. But I think that's just because he's, born and bred Australian, right? It's like
Yeah.
in their veins. He's the descendant of a fucking prisoner. Like what, Of course he's gonna like
Yep,
shit.
that's true.
It's like the kind of slop you would feed somebody in a prison. So
It looks like chocolate, like when you smear it on a piece of toast. It looks like
No.
Nutella.
It looks like it needs to be stirred with a toilet stick.
it's a lot more solid than I expected. I
Yeah.
kind of thought I'd be able to just like scoop it out like Nutella or like, but it's pretty thick.
Did he tell you when people eat this? Is this like, is it a equivalent to a jam for us where they eat it for breakfast, or is it more like a lunchtime sandwich type thing?
No, he did not tell me that, but I think it is kind of a jam equivalent. Like I think people do eat it in breakfast. I should probably have researched that.
It looks like chocolate. It does look like chocolate when you spread it.
Right.
So we're gonna spread it on toast and try that. Should we also just try a spoonful after the toast?
No.
Not a spoonful.
No, yeah.
Spoon empty.
Oh, I don't want to do this.
All right. While you guys are giving the courage.
Oh yeah, we got a scale. So.
Oh yeah, take your time, Chad.
Yeah, for this special "You Spread That" segment. Well, that's the name of the segment because we're trying a spread.
Kraft Foods is calling and thinks your segment sounds too racy.
Okay, so we got a special 3-point scale here to rate this Vegemite on. So starting at the top, we've got I give this my Pledgeamite. Middle, I'm kind of on the edge a mite. And at the bottom, I want to jump off a Legemite. So those are what we're going to rate this on.
It's cold toast, too.
Yeah.
Oh, my fuck.
Oh,
Holy
fucking fuck! Oh. I'm using a paper towel to wipe my tongue.
Oh!
I didn't bring any water. Oh,
God.
Ah!
Chad, are you getting stabbed? What's happening in there?
He just fell over and cracked his head on the bookcase. The water's not strong enough is the problem. I did bring water in it.
Yeah. I just ate the rest of my Choco bar.
Oh, good idea.
Wait, Adam, hold on. You eat this shit?
Fucking Christ!
Oh.
All right, love that.
We do love Adam. He sends us a lot of stuff, and seemingly a great guy. And congrats on your kid.
Oh, the best.
Congrats on your kid, but man, this is real bullshit that he's sent us.
I'd almost sooner eat the glass shards of the other jar than eat this.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, Adam is the absolute nicest human being in the entire world, and I would way rather eat a glass sharded Tim Tam right now, and like deal with the after effects on my digestion.
How does someone eat this?
Okay, I'll start. Let's not. No need to beat around the bush, Geiger style.
Yeah.
This is awful. It's dog shit, as we like to say. So real easily, it is a jump off the ledge mite. If that's right. I'm not sure if that was right enough, but
Close
it's
enough.
The taste. It's hard to describe the taste because it doesn't taste like anything I could think of. But you can like tell that it's made from discarded yeast. Like it has that odd kind of like yeasty flavor to it. But it's real bad. So I'm giving it that lowest rating. Geiger?
Yeah. This is horrid. Like this, it tastes exactly like it smells, which is like a rancid dump in a jar. It is so bad. It's like super salty and yet soury and like it was gross. I didn't like it. I might use it to pull a prank on my family and tell them it's Nutella. But other than that, it's nasty. This stuff is terrible. I wouldn't feed this to my worst enemy, Hauser, or any of his alien siblings. This is fucking trash. Hit it with a sledgeamite or whatever.
Yeah.
Jump off the ledgeamite. This is horrible.
That's it.
Really bad. No go. Ugh.
Chad?
Say what needs to be said, Chad.
I think. Tell me if this is crazy. To me, this tastes like the most like skunk beer. If you then dumped like a bucket of salt into it, you know what I mean? Like, because it's like so overly yeasty, but then like extremely sour, but also extremely salty. It's got a little bit of it's got notes of bile, stomach bile there at the end. It actually is like a surprisingly deep and complex, like a sort of a layered flavor. But the problem is that every single one of those layers is trash. And I've been thinking about this while you guys are talking, if this is an accurate thing to say or not, and I really, really honestly believe this. I'm not just like saying this in the moment. I think this is the worst thing that we have ever had on this podcast. And I am including potted meat, I'm including Fit Crunch Bar, I'm including V8 tomato juice, like all the other shit that we've had.
I'm including V8, which lots of people drink.
I'm including lime when we ate a lime and I almost threw up. This is so gross. Thank you so much, Adam, for sending it. You're so nice.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
disgusting, and I want to jump off a Vegemite.
I started to think of the other things you mentioned. Because my first thought is there's no way it's the worst thing we ate. But I'm going through the things, and then after each one you list, I was smelling the Vegemite. And I think you're definitely onto something. If it's not at the top, it is a really strong contender.
I feel like the potted meat is the only thing I would say is worse. And I think for me, it was because I had to eat the whole thing, A, and B, it was just the consistency was so like wet and mushy and gross. This is also like, this tastes horrid, but at least it's just like a jelly. But yeah, this is bad.
But this would be worse if you had to eat this whole jar.
Yes.
That would be worse.
The taste is so overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. You're right in that. If I had to eat a whole jar of it, or like a bucket, or like a bathtub full, it would be terrible.
If Hauser came in with his super soaker and just started spraying it into your mouth.
Blasted me with Vegemite.
Yeah.
Here's your
That's how you
tip.
take down a cartel.
Yeah.
Spraying with this, they're not going anywhere. Okay, so terrible ratings for the Vegemite. We'd not recommend it, but we definitely... I'm wondering how other people feel about it. I'm sure people have had it. Now, Chad, you mentioned that your wife said that Marmite, another version of it, was much better. So I'd be curious to know
yeah, I don't know
why.
if much better, but she said it is better. Marmite, the sort of New Zealand equivalent. She said it's kind of less salty, but I don't think she thinks it's good, but she thinks it's better than Vegemite.
Does she like Vegemite at all?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. It's a cultural thing, I guess. So that'll do it for You Spread That, TM. But now we're moving on to the Fudge Brownie M&Ms, and another listener provided snack, and this is from our tournament commissioner and bracketeer, Kurt. So, Kurt, thanks a lot for giving us the snack. It's Kurt's first submission. We'll see how he does.
Attaboy, Kurt.
Kurt, I'll say you could not have timed this better. So I now have fudge brownie M&Ms to look forward to after I just ate that human fecal matter. So you are also probably going to look better just simply by comparison.
Now we talked about this earlier, but I was convinced when he first sent these fudge brownie M&Ms that we had done them in the tournament, the M&M tournament. But I went back and looked at the bracket and we hadn't. I was all prepared to call Kurt out, but
how would you have called Kurt out? What would you have said if you were going to call him out?
I would have said, Kurt, you gave us snacks that you didn't need to give us. We had already eaten them.
That's what I thought. Okay.
You fucked up. That's what I would say.
All three of us are very big brownie fans. When it just comes to a tray of fudge brownies, we're on board. So you got to do a good job when you're putting a fudge brownie style candy to impress us.
I thought you were about to say all three of us are very big, and then just not say anything. Yeah, I get in there, I get it, but
Very big fat sacks of shit. Now eat those fudge brownies, you fat fucks. This is a very interesting consistency on the inside. If you bite
Yeah.
it open, it's not like a typical M&M. It has kind of a cakey brownie center to it in a little bit.
these are also different in that they're like the size of like a peanut M&M almost, but they're not. Excuse me, but there's no peanut in them.
That's brownie.
Yeah, there's brownie in there.
I can't think of any other M&M that's close to this, so I will give them that this is a very original M&M. Yeah, it has a gummy, gooey kind of texture in the middle that is very brownie-like and does have a brownie flavor, but it is different. It's not what you're used to feeling when you eat an M&M.
I'm going to try two of them with a smash test, red versus brown. Red wins. Just FYI.
Geiger, what do you think of these things?
They are good.
All right.
I do.
You heard it here, folks.
That's all I had. Good. They're okay.
It's a
they're good. I
snacking
think
expert.
they don't.
good.
They taste like brownies, but they taste. This is gonna sound weird. They taste like brownies, but they taste like kind of box brownies or like the crappy brownie you buy at the grocery store. Kind of. They had that like weird, like too sweet, like frosting cakiness. I don't know. I'm not describing it well, but the aftertaste is like bad to me. So like these are good. I don't think I could eat like a whole. And now, granted, we have the share size, which is supposed to be eaten by multiple people anyway. But I think I couldn't eat a whole thing of it. They're good. I'll give it a low level good. There's several
Low level.
low level like that.
Oh,
How many fucking episodes? Is this episode like 112 and I still fucked up the... I give it a 7.
a low level good. Is this like Invasion of the Body Snatchers and Hauser's people have got to?
He's trying to pretend he's me. This snack is adequate. That's not Geiger. He doesn't know that word.
I give this a low level. Okay.
He's doing the Egger. Brownie good. Just yelling at the microphone. I give it a low level like that. These are good. I think I'll get sick of them pretty soon. And like I said, kind of that cheap like Jewel brand brownie or like school lunch brownie flavor is like kind of bothering me the more I eat them. But they're not bad. Kurt, you didn't fuck up. They're not the best M&M I've ever had or anything like that.
Wait, so what was the official? What is
Low level good? I told you. Quit fucking asking me. Write it down in the scorecard.
Okay.
Low level.
G-O-O-D.
Low level like that.
Okay. Chad, what do you think?
This might be a controversial opinion here. When I after the first like one or two, I was like, all right, I get these. I get what they're going for here. These are fine.
You were confused what they're going for before?
Yeah.
Is this a banana?
But then just for the hell of it, I decided to throw like 4 into my mouth at once and chew them all around.
Just for the hell of it. You've done that with every snack we've ever eaten.
Yeah, that's my MO. And as I sort of chewed them around, it kind of congealed together in this sort of fudgy brownie like flavor and texture in my mouth.
Before you say, now wait a second, wait.
Mm-hmm.
Now before you say how you felt about that, I am completely 50-50 on whether you think that's great or terrible.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going either. Also, you basically described chewing, so congrats. We get it.
So I put them in my mouth and I excreted some secretion called saliva that really liquidated. Anyways, I don't know how chewing works. So the point is that it gave me that feeling that I was eating an actual brownie. I love brownies, and there's something pretty addictive about this thing. And I'm going to go ahead and say, I love these. I'm going to give
Whoa.
these a love dat.
Whoa.
I think they're good. I would put them right in the top tier of M&Ms. Now, they're no peanut M&M. Or sorry. Actually, I'd put these up there with peanut M&M. They're no peanut butter M&M is what I meant to
What
say.
sort of
I want you.
They're
blasphemy?
they're no peanut butter M&M.
So you give it a high good then? Is what I'm hearing.
I give it a very high good. I would put these in the top tier of M&Ms. If these had been in the tournament, I would have wanted to see them go very, very far.
What?
Love that. I think they're great.
Wow.
Man, I think you're just sucking up to Kurt after giving all this shit all this time.
Yeah.
I agree. They got the taste of Vegemite out of my mouth, and for that, I am eternally grateful. But when you were describing what happened in your mouth,
when you were describing the process of eating a snack, this is what I thought of.
I've eaten for 40 years, and I've never once found it disgusting until I've heard it in those words. I feel worse. Hey now.
Sorry. Sorry.
The cough congealing in Geiger's mouth there.
I feel worse about these than both of you guys. Here's the thing. Brownies, if you take a brownie and you put, let's say, an M&M, like you have an M&M brownie, that's ruining a brownie to me. I don't want a brownie that has candy pieces in it. So, like, I'm known to like those terrible Little Debbie fudge brownies, right? Now, they make them with little pieces of candy in it called Cosmic Brownie. Ruins them. I don't want any shelled candy in my brownie. That's basically what this is. It tastes okay. It tastes brownie flavored, but it doesn't taste like a brownie, right? It's just like a mushy gooey.
Yeah, you gotta eat 5 of them at once to get that brownie flavor. I told you.
You didn't congeal enough of them in your mouth at one time.
All right, let's do it, Geiger. Let's before I was
I'll do
having
5 of
official
these at
rating
once.
going, but I'm not going to give it until I experience this. How many we going? How many?
5. That's what you
5?
said, right?
Ah,
That's
shit,
the
I had
number.
4.
What's the number? Oh, 4 or 5, Chad? What was the
I
number?
think it was actually
I
4.
don't think I can solve it.
We can do 4.
Let's do
Okay,
4.
4. We'll go 4. Do they have to be different
I
colors?
don't want to do
Do
this,
they
but-
have to be different colors? Yeah, they fucking do.
Okay.
Okay. I'm applying chewing motions.
Saliva.
Now, what's the next step? Spit all over
Move them all to one corner of your mouth.
them?
Mm-hmm.
They're congealing.
I'm forming them into a brownie.
This is riveting podcast.
Congeal them. Feel that congealing.
Uh-huh.
Excrete that saliva.
I still feel like I'm eating a subpar brownie is the problem.
I would say that is maybe a little bit better.
They're good, though. I mean...
It's a little bit better.
See?
And you know what? In the most surprising move of all time, I'm going to upgrade these from what was an indifferent to a low-level good.
What the fuck?
Which is still high indifferent. No. No. It's really in between a high and
So now, wait a
indifferent
minute.
and a low-level like that. But I'll push them up to a low-level like. I don't know if they deserve it or not, but they're decent. They are decent, and putting them together
Boy.
somehow, I don't know how, made them a little bit better.
Who's the
All
snacking
right, guys.
expert now,
Let's go back.
motherfuckers?
Get 5 pieces of toast. Slather them with Vegemite. Stuff them all in our mouth at once. See if
That
that
actually could be the only way I could stomach it, is if I got 5 pieces of toast, but only covered one of those pieces with Vegemite.
like Princess and the Piet or whatever, and just stack it all up.
Yeah, 5 pieces of toast, 1 atom of Vegemite.
I could still taste
Oh
it.
God, fuck!
So the M&Ms
Wow.
have won.
Wow.
Yeah, that
Who
pushed
would've
it
thought
out of
it?
a tie. You're changing it there.
I would still rather eat the other chocolate, personally, but Chad's love did push it up. And Kurt bucked up. He bucked up with this snack.
Bucked up, Kurt.
Good job,
So,
boy.
Geiger, where can the
Just
listeners
call him
contact
Uncle
us?
Buck.
Let's do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we want to thank Uncle Buck and Daddy Adam for
Thank you, Uncle Buck.
for
What
I
in
don't know
the
what the fuck's
fuck?
happening.
Thank you, Daddy
That
Adam.
weird.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna send you some nudes later.
We want to thank Uncle Buck, Daddy Adam, Grandpa Hauser, and all the other people that made this episode possible today. We also would like to hear your thoughts on Vegemite. I'm serious. I agree with Novak. If you have eaten Vegemite and you like it, first of all, go get a CAT scan. But then when you're done with that, let us know the results and tell us why you liked it, because it tastes like howling, screaming sadness. But
Honestly, I wonder if just spreading it on toast is the wrong thing,
what would you
right?
put it
Like
on?
here's what I'm saying. Like you wouldn't just spread mayonnaise on just a plain piece of toast and eat that, probably, right? Like you eat it in the
Sure.
context of like a sandwich. So maybe it's like Vegemite plus 10 other ingredients brings out the whatever the fuck.
Tell us what lunch meat you'd like to ruin with Vegemite.
You might be right.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
might be. The only thing I want to eat it on now is cyanide, but like I can't imagine what the fuck else. Like, so maybe in a sandwich it is better because you're actually a good point about mayonnaise.
It just pairs perfectly with koala meat or some shit. Like that,
Or even
right?
like mustard, which I love. Like if
Yeah.
you just if I sent mustard to like Hauser's Planet and they spread it on a piece of toast, then it like probably wouldn't taste good.
And shoved it in their third mouth hole, which is right in their armpit.
There's a really good use of like our rocket fuel and everything. Just send one jar of mustard to deep space.
Dr. Novak, what are we doing? Send this mustard covered piece of toast up to an alien. Okay. Oh God.
I'm in charge
got
with that
brain
voice. Just
It
send in
was
the mustard.
It was Make-A-Wish Day at NASA. Like, what do you want to do? Blast mustard into space. All right. I can't tell him no, I guess. So, all right. We got to hike taxes up again. And then Hauser came down. How did you know what the perfect peace offering was? And he just started. What the hell?
He was
Well-
getting ready to just cover our planet in checks to smother us all, but he's like, "Oh well, since you sent that mustard,
Set your phasers off of kill." And he just whips out this giant gun.
There's like a mile-long like gun off of their planet that's just a huge super soaker, just pointed at Earth.
It's full of mustard. Oh, yummy.
Got the mustard just in time.
You sent what needed to be sent.
the can of mustard like just knocks their planet back into a bookshelf."
Not again. It's just over. All right.
It cracks open.
All kinds of Hausers spill out. Anyway, if you're Hauser, I apologize for turning you into a mythological dipshit.
If you're
but- Hey, if you happen to be Hauser, my bad, dude.
And if you're not Hauser, fuck you.
And you know what, fucking Hauser? I was smart enough to pass that class without that skit, so fuck off, loser. Oh, wait, he's probably got a real gun. Yeah, reach out to us at youtriteit@gmail.com. You can reach out to us on hashtag youtriteit on Twitter. We're on YouTube. We are on Instagram. We also have a Facebook group called You Tried That. And tell us, use our famous rating scale of love that, good, indifferent to that, dislike that, or hate that to let us know what you think about the Vegemite.
We've got some fan submissions here we got one from Adam, Kurt, and we mentioned that we wanted to thank some other fans because we're always looking at the social medias, and we have a fan who comments pretty regularly and has been listening for a long time, and we have never mentioned. So all we know her as is Liz, but she makes a lot of comments to our social medias, and so we're super appreciative of her listening. So
For sure.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, so
And all you other people that are out there listening and are silent, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Come on.
So
Come
if you're Liz or if you're Hauser,
you're cool. Everyone else, go fuck yourself.
do we like Hauser or not? I don't fucking even.
I can't tell what we feel about Hauser. Yeah, I want to say he's.
We
cool
gotta
only
pretend to
'cause-
like him, or else they're gonna take over our planet. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm kind of nervous that even if he's not an alien, he might come kill me. So I'm hoping it's one of those things where he's like what's that movie where the guy's making a list and of people to kill, and they happen to call and apologize, and he goes, "Oh," and he reaches up and crosses the name off the
Billy
list.
Madison.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm hoping to pull a Billy Madison with a good old alien whack job Hauser and his fucking space ray.
You just
gun
called
and
him like
switched up
50
head.
different names. I'm not sure how you think you got on his good side.
No, well, you know what? He was a cool guy. I forgot to tell you about Hauser, the best man in my wedding. Oh wait, that was you.
He's trying to get our mustard reserves. All right, it makes no fucking sense why Hauser. A guy in Geiger's history class lives on another planet and wants all of Earth's mustard. So that's kind of where we're at now.
Give me that mustard.
What?
Our topics always are like, hey, who's got something? I've got a news story, and by the end of it, we're all going, give me that mustard! I'm a space alien! What the fuck are we talking about?
Okay, well, that'll do it. But we'll be back next time. We're trying out 3 brand new snacks.
Mustard!
He began seeing UFOs all the time. He could barely look up without seeing some strange light or orb in the sky. Over the years, his wristwatch stopped working. Lights would flicker at his mere presence, and birds would crash into his car.
If you're a true experiencer, a true abductee, you have what's called high strangeness.